the need, I believe in you.
Welcome back to the Grizzly Sports Report here on the road as the regular season concludes. We had to get a little bit creative, not going back to Missoula here with Coach DeCuire after the third road sweep in conference play for the Grizz. Coach, you have to be pleased with the effort. With the calendar turning to March, your team really showed up when the lights were brighter.
No question. Our level of intensity is very high right now. Our attention to detail, our focus and execution on offense has been pretty good as well.
When you look at that Weber State game, we'll go back to Thursday night. You come into a hostile environment. You always have that game circled on the calendar. How was the preparation for your team coming into that game, especially off some disappointment and your backs were kind of against the wall?
You know, it was easy. It was more about just going out and being the aggressor, cutting down our playbook, and really just trying to play in transition as much as possible. We knew they wouldn't be very deep and play very many guys, so we wanted the tempo to be fast, to try to wear some guys down, maybe pick up some fouls on some guys around the rim. But we were very aggressive on both sides of the ball, and I thought it carried over in the game.
When you look at the balanced scoring, 5 players in double-figure scoring, I mean, that's pretty impressive against a team like Weber State. What was the key to that, and how much is that a key to your guys' success?
Really, my number one goal was to turn Mike and Ahmad loose and let them be the aggressors and set the tone, and then get a feel for the other guys, who's making shots, who's comfortable, who's ready to play. And Saeed Pridgett off the bench was huge for us, and we got a good taste of his readiness in the first half, and then gave him long stretches in the second.
And then the guy that wasn't in double figures, Bobby Moorhead, you can't say enough about what he did in that game. The defense on Jeremy Sanglin to hold the top 3-point shooter in the country to 1 of 7 shooting, and that was just off an offensive board. Just take us through how he was able to be successful in defense.
You know, he's kind of been the equalizer for us defensively. Moving him into the lineup, I think, has been helpful with us in terms of his activity. He gets his hands on a lot of balls. He's a good rebounder. Step back, and we just try to minimize those opportunities, and he went right a lot, and I think his percentages caught up with him.
I know it's definitely about the team, and we always talk about the team, but let's highlight Bobby just a little bit more, because he went through a stretch where it wasn't very pretty, especially on the offensive end, and maybe you can just loop this into everyone that's maybe went through the ebbs and the flows of a season. How do you get them playing their best ball now and keeping with it mentally?
In all honesty, that's kind of been the issue of our team. Bobby, Walter, Saeed have been guys that have, even Samuelson, have played well for us in stretches, but we've had long stretches where they weren't making shots or weren't shooting a high percentage. And I thought a lot of it was our shot selection. I think everyone thought that this year could be a big year for them individually, and we lost sight of our collective goals. And we were just taking quick shots, maybe not the best shot for us all the time. And Bobby's become more selective with the 3-point shots he took, shots off the dribble and whatnot. His percentage has gone up, and his minutes have gone up.
And a big difference again against Weber State was your bench. Maybe the guys that didn't even get in the game. Everyone was in tune, all on one common goal. I know you told me in the post-game Thursday that everyone's bought into the team. It's very important this time of year. Talk a little bit more about that.
It's been a big deal for us. So we've talked about that from day one. We spent time on retreat. I bring it up pretty much every day. But, you know, with kids that are ambitious, that are talented, sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other, and you learn from experience. And for us, it was adversity. It was, you know, we threw away our opportunity to compete for a regular season championship because of our individual goals, and because we just, you know, we felt that maybe putting the team on our back individually would help us win, and it did. It cost us quite a few games against teams we felt we should have beat. And I think it caught up with us down the stretch of some games at the free throw line. And so for us now, those goals are kind of out the window and behind us. And we got one common goal, and we're playing a lot like that.
So you get your first win at Weber State in 13 seasons in the regular season, and then you transition to Idaho State. How did you try and keep your guys up to make sure there wasn't that letdown? It's a completely different atmosphere in Pocatello than Ogden.
The challenge was, how do we handle success? You know, we've had some stretches where we've been very well. We've played well. You know, we're a 4-game win streak in conference, come home, and we've got some issues that affect our ability to perform. And then our level of intensity's dropped after wins from time to time. And so, you know, we scrimmaged a lot in practice this week, more than breakdown drills, and we just forced competition, forced tempo. And I thought it filtered into Saturday's game. We kind of ran them into the ground. They got to the point where they were walking down the floor on offense, and Idaho State's a team that wants to run. I subbed quick, and we just kept pushing the ball over and over and over again. And eventually, the teams that don't have great depth got right into the ground. I think that happened in both games.
Season high 95 points in that game. And when you look at it, Coach, 11 three-pointers made. Maybe one of the Achilles heels of this team has been three-point shooting. How nice is that leading into the tournament to those guys see the basketball go through the net a little bit when it gets bigger?
It's been good to get the confidence up at this time. We kind of tweaked some things with what we do in shoot around in practice the day before in terms of the shots and some of our form shooting drills and those types of things. So I've kind of used the first 5 to 10 minutes of practice as if we were in the fall again. And I think it's led to some confidence and some form and some things like that. But the other thing is the tempo. I think the tempo has been huge for us, and we've gotten to the rim a lot, and we've gotten to the free throw line more.
So now you get the win. You earn that bye, the number 5 seed playing Idaho. Before we get to that matchup real quick, take us through the next couple of days for your team. You're going to Reno early, and how do you try and keep your guys fresh? I'm sure you've probably been thinking about it a lot.
We need to keep getting better. We're going to tighten up some things offensively. I'm going to make some decisions on our offensive package that we'll use for the week. We've got some things defensively we'd like to go and make sure that we execute and everything's on the same page. And we got some discussions to have about rotations and where we are with that. But really for us, we're going to get in the gym. We're going to get after it for 3 days and treat it like regular season for us and just go into it and play the best basketball we can play.
Give us a mini conference tournament landscape. This league is so wide open. You see North Dakota, a team that opened up the year losing by 35 at Portland State, then they come back, win the regular season crown. This thing's just wide open, but give us a little bit of a preview in your eyes.
It definitely is. I think what happens is you're looking at some teams playing tough matchups. You know, Idaho and us have split. We have a big lead at their place, and they make a run late. We have a decent lead at home. They make a run to take over the game. I think for North Dakota with the 1 seed, you know, Portland State, NAU might be a tough matchup for them. Portland State with the offensive packages that they have. NAU, the big power game, and they've been playing phenomenal lately. And then the other side of the bracket, everybody's been beating up on everyone. And there's some teams that were on streaks and some teams that have been on losing streaks. So the ball's going to go in there, and it's anybody's game.
We'll let you out of here on this one, Coach. You look at your team, and every coach wants their squad to be playing their best basketball when the calendar turns to March. Would you say your team is playing their best basketball this season right now?
Eventually, I'd say yes. And we're excited about that and look forward to Thursday.
When we look at that game against Idaho real quick, mini preview on them. Biggest challenge, of course, Vic Sanders.
Physical play, we know that they're going to touch, they're going to be physical. When they screen, you're going to feel it. When you try to get through screens, you're going to feel it. We're going to match that with our defensive pressure, our intensity, deflect balls, keep them out of offense, not let them flow, and play to a high tempo.
Best of luck in the conference tournament, Coach.
Thank you. Go Grizz.
That was head coach Travis DeCuire. The Grizz will take on Idaho 3:30 Mountain Time on Thursday.
You love your couch and want to protect it from spills, messy food,